In the Bantu Hebrew roots video, I touched very briefly on the number 2.
Bereshit starts with the letter B. Here's a little mystery. B is the second letter, although it represents the first, the creation, the birth. The whole Bible also starts with the letter B, Bible. And there are 2 testaments in the complete Bible, which is 2. B is the beginning of the human being. B is the root of what's within, the being or be in that comes through birth. This being has breath and lives on bread.
Adam is the first, which is 1, which is an odd number. Eve was the second, which is 2, which is even number. And with that, we have them being given the commandment to be fruitful and to multiply. And when we multiply what was in the beginning, which is 2, Adam and Eve, and that 2 came from the 1, which is to say it had to be 2 for there to be multiplication. So Adam creates Eve, Eve creates other people, in the sense of multiplication. From 1 is 2, and from 2 they were told, be fruitful and multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. Now when we get into the power of the number 4, why are we getting into the number 4? Because Adam was the first one when there was just the waters covering the earth, and then the second beginning when there was the flood and the waters were covering the earth. There were 4 forefathers, and this is what we're going into. But now we're going to look at the power of the number 4, and then we'll go further to the fathers.
Have you ever wondered why we have 4 seasons in our year? Or why we have 4 cardinal points, north, south, east, and west? Why is a leap year every 4 years? Why are there 4 parts in a day? Sunrise, sunset, midday, and midnight. How about the fact that our moon has 4 phases that occur every 4 weeks? Why 4? Coincidence? Maybe. But consider this. Human beings have 4 limbs, 2 arms and 2 legs, 4 fingers and a thumb, 4 toes and a thumb. Did you know humans have 4 canine teeth and 4 wisdom teeth? How about the 4 main human blood types? A positive, B positive, AB positive, and O positive. Speaking of blood, did you know that our blood is made up of 4 main components? Plasma, white blood cells, platelets, and red blood cells? What about our hearts that pump this blood? Also divided into 4 chambers: the right atrium, the left atrium, the right ventricle, and the left ventricle. Even human bodily tissue is divided into 4 types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle, and nervous tissue. Our brains, yep, also divided into 4 main sections: the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the temporal lobe.
So the 4 forefathers that I'll be talking about are found in Genesis 8:18, 9:18, and 10:1. They are later on called the Table of Nations, which is a table with 4 legs. And these 4 forefathers in Genesis 8:18, and Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him. And this shows the hierarchy of how they actually came out of the ark in the first place. And then in 9:18, we have, and the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. And when we hear about the father of Canaan, we're hearing further than Canaan. We're hearing that he is also a father further than what we can see. And these form the 4 forefathers. So they are before, but they're showing us what's after. And then Genesis chapter 10:1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were born sons after the flood. And we're going to be talking about what happened after the flood. But These are the four forefathers, and they are before and they are after. Before the flood, and they are after the flood. And they bring forth, they come forth out of the ark. And all of them are fathers with further generations. And they have so much information in their genealogy because they are the forefathers. They tell us what was before and after. This is why in Revelation chapter 4 we hear about the elders. This is after. Revelation comes after, but we hear about the elders, which comes before. And no one talks about the elders, same way that no one talks about these four forefathers. So now we're going to be talking about them, and this is going to be very amazing, because we're going to be talking about this and actually hearing the mind of God in the four forefathers. So let's get into it.
And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nation.
So in that video, I'm just showing the different names of the forefathers and their children and the actual countries that they're in. Ham already starts the mystery in the fact that we don't know why his son and not him got the curse. And he continues the mystery with the fact that we hear about the meaning of everyone else's names except for his. So what is the meaning of Ham? So Ham represents Africa. He has 4 children, and his 4 children are in the 4 parts of Africa. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim and Put and Canaan. These were his children who were in the land. The Hebrew meanings of these names, which will go into the prophetic meaning later, is Cush means black, Mizraim is, it sounds like misery, but it means double distress, and Put means bow, and Canaan means submit. As we've discovered, there are a lot of mysteries surrounding the father figure Ham. We don't even know if he actually avoided the curse, and we don't even know the actual meaning of his name. So digging deeper into that. This is a Wikipedia of Ham, the son of Noah, and here we're just going to see some information that Ham was the father of Cush, Mizraim, and Put, the son of Noah. And then we'll see that Josephus here, he says that as having Ham was in Africa and parts of Asia. So as we see here in the map, that we see that there are different places and that they actually had different colors for the 3 different children, and they divided the whole world among themselves. So here we actually see in blue is the place where Ham was primarily, and then in green we see the place where Shem was. So here we have Canaan, and Canaan is right in the middle there. That name that we also need is going to be Ham. It's part of the genealogy. So it is the glory of God to hide things. It is the honor of kings to search out a matter. So we're looking at this meaning that is not in the Bible, but we find out that the other names are there except for this one. So this one Hebrew word for burnt is Ham, black or hot, which also in Egyptian means servant or service, as we're going to see. And actually the word for majesty. Very interesting that it's also included. And I also did some deeper research into this word. So it means hot, burnt, or dark. It means servant, majesty. It also means Egypt. It means Egypt. The whole of Egypt was called the land of Ham. It also means protective wall. It means warm. And it also surprisingly means noisy. And it means they and them. So the name of Ham means all of those things. Besides Canaan's curse and the hidden name, there are other mysteries surrounding Ham, such as the sin. What was his actual sin? What did he actually do? And the other mystery that is surrounding Ham is the fact or the question of whether or not he is a Jew, because we've seen that from Japheth, that's where all of the isles of the Gentiles were. But for Ham, we see that that question is not, or that clause is not put. So they're literally saying that these are the Jews. So the Ham and the Shem are the Jews, and the Gentiles is from Japheth. And now we're going to look at Shem. Genesis 10:22 says, "And the children of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram." Shem represents Israel. Elam represents Persia, parts of Persia, but Elam actually also sounds like Iran. Ashur also represents and sounds like Syria. Ashur is Syria, which is Assyria. Arphaxad is Turkey, part of Syria, part of Iraq, or Chaldean. And then Lud is Lydia and Turkey, and Aram is Armenia, Syria, and anything that is Aramaic. And now we're getting into the profound and prophetic meanings of these names. So Shem actually means name or renown, the name of Israel. And Elam means eternity or hidden. And Ashur means blessed step, or going, or straightforward, or level. Arphaxad means healer, or release of Chaldean, because Arphaxad also means Chaldean. And Lud means strife or travail. And then Aram means exalted. All of these names, the meanings of the names, are taken from the root meanings of the Hebrews, and they bring out a prophetic meaning that's been hidden in the Bible. And this meaning is amazing, and this is what I'm just right now about to show you. This is what it means. This is what the names mean, the countries, the prophecy. God is amazing. When you read Shem's genealogy with the prophetic mind and eye and spirit, you see the message in the genealogy of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram, the forefathers, saying this: the name of renown, hidden from eternity, takes a blessed step forward, bringing healing, and through strife and travail to exaltation. This is the meaning. The name from eternity, stepping forward, brings healing through travail to exaltation, through strife to exaltation. And these are the names, the words, and the meanings as they are put in the genealogy. Gomer is Germany and France. Magog is Russia and Ukraine. Madai is Iran and Persia. Javan is Greece. Tubal is Turkey. Meshech is Turkey and South Russia. And Tiras is Bulgaria and Romania. So these were the isles of the Gentiles, and these are the children of Japheth. And now we're going to go into the root meanings of each of the Hebrew names. Gomer means complete or end. Magog means overtopping. Madai means middle land or measure. Javan means clay or deceiver. And Tubal means brought or overflowing, complete, total, global. Meshech means drawing out. And Tiras means desire and demolition. And these are taken from the Hebrew root words, and their meanings are those ones. So the word of Japheth and the prophecy is always about expansion, because that is the word and that is the name. And through the prophecies that I'll just be showing, it is also a smaller version which I will also expand on, because this is the way of Japheth: expanding, exaggerating, enlarging. So when we look at the word of the genealogy and how to follow it, we see that his genealogy starts from Gomer. So from Gomer, which is from the end, or from completion, which is Gomer's name. And then we also go to Magog. And Magog means overtopping and controlling, which is done through power. So this is from end, or from the completion through power, which is Magog. And then to Madai, which is the measure or the control. So through power to measure and control. And Tubal means global, or means brought, or means influence. From end to completion through power to measured control, leading to global influence. And I've already spoken about Tubal and Tubal Cain and their influence in terms of the line of Canaan and the genealogy. So this is how we see Tubal also brought up here. So this is bringing that influence. So this is the part of the genealogy of Japheth, from end completion through power to measured control, leading to global influence, is what the genealogy is saying. How amazing is that? But now let's look at Ham. Ham fathered Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. So when it comes to the land of Ham, since we're talking about Ham again, there's another mystery. The other mystery is that Put was put in the North Africa. So the mystery, or the question becomes, so what happened to the rest of Africa, the center and the bottom of it? What happened to it? And the other mystery that I will just unravel here is the fact that Canaan was supposed to dwell in the tents of Shem. So where was his land? Canaan was the only one who was not given land. And this got him very upset, because he didn't do anything. It was his father. But it was because of that attitude that he had to be in servitude, in service, to be humble in the tents of Shem, to learn the ways of God. But he was not able to do that. And Canaan ends up being Palestine. So he is, as you will see in the Bible, they will always refer to the children of Abraham as 3 instead of 4, because Canaan is not in the land of Ham. But in the land of Ham, this is the whole of Africa. So the question, or the mysteries, are there before us. It is the glory of God to hide things. This is a prophecy encoded in the Hebrew, hard-coded in the Hebrew version of the Bible, for the whole of Africa that I'm going to be reading. This is based on the etymology, the names. The name of Ham, as we've discovered, means hot, burnt, or dark. The name of Cush, his first son, is black or dark. Mizraim, the second one mentioned, means double distress or fortress. And Put means bow, or maybe it's even bow, or affliction. And then Canaan means lowland or submit. The prophetic explanation of the names of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan is: burning leads to darkness, double distress, affliction, and submission. Japheth is all about enlargement, and Ham is all about resources. So it was necessary for Japheth to control the land of Ham. And this is how we see that Gog and Magog has put, or that bow, in their hands. The same way that the Western countries have always controlled Africa. There is a complex relationship between Ham and Shem because we discover that both of them are living in their places, and it seems they're both Hebrews and Jews. But with Shem, we discover that we have an assured stepping stone to eternity. With whatever confusion happened because of Canaan and the curse and the mysteries of Ham, we do know that through the line we of Shem, are in the branch and in the line of that salvation. But the name Ham also means hemmed, which is to join together. As you can see, Ham ended up joining together with Shem in some instances. And then we also see that Ham ended up joining together with Japheth in some instances. So when we read, this will be for further reading. If you want to go deeper into the subject matter, just go to Ezekiel chapter 38 to 39. But then I will just show you verse 15. And the passengers that pass through the land, when any sees a man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it, till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Ham on Gog. So Gog, as we've seen, is from Japheth. Ham, as we've seen, is from Ham. But then this is a place called Ham and Gog. So this is a place, Ham and Gog, Ham on Gog. And also the name of the city shall be Hamonah. So Ham ended up being involved in a lot of different things, such as idolatry and polytheism, because of his understanding of the spirituality, which is the mysteries, his understanding of the mysteries. Ham is the mystery. I laid down the framework and the foundation of the four forefathers. And when we get into the detail of the children's children, this is how we're going to see where they're hemmed together. There's one thing that I need to emphasize is that the African people actually come from the Midianites, the Hebrews through Abraham and Sarah, which is Eber, and also from Ham, which is in the first part, which is Shem. So you're going to see the intertwining of the different names. And the Hebrew names have always been important, such as the name of Sheba. So the name Sheba, when you see it, when you hear it, when you read it, it has the Eba. And this is where we get the word of Heba, Eba. And the story of the Queen of Sheba is a very interesting story. And she's a very famous black woman who is in the Bible, very mysterious, as it always is, as it is in the video about Ham. The story of Ham is always mysterious. So here is also another mystery, that David had another woman called Sheba, Bathsheba. So they were both Sheba, and all of these women also had this mysterious allure to them, and everything that happened is also something else that we can discuss at another time. But this name Sheba, as we can see, will be traced from back in the lineage of Ham. But you should also see where it's hemmed, where it also becomes the same in Shem. So first of all, we see the son of Cush, which is a son of Ham. Cush means black. And Seba, Havilah, and then we have Sheba. In the video, I went over the name of Cush, and Cush means black. Cush has these children, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, Sabteka. And the son of Rama is Sheba, and the other one is Dedan, where we get the word Sudan. And when we go to Shem, we see something that's somewhat the same through Shem and Eba. Eba, which is the queen of Sheba. All right, let's look closer at Eba. So here unto Eba we see he had two children, Peleg and Joktan. And there's a whole mystery to that, and we'll do Eba justice when we talk about that. And here we read Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan, which is the son of Eba. So this is another trace of Eba to Sheba. But now we see how they're hemmed, because it's the same as Ham with Cush having a son called Sheba. So this is a whole mystery. But let's move on to other ancestors from the Bantu, which are
mysteriously in the Bible, and this is just you also trying to figure out if it's actually as it is, like a Barian. And also, you can be part of this movement by donating to this platform, and I will read this way. Or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, and he that teaches on teaching, he that exhorts on exhorting, he that gives, let him do it with simplicity, he that rules with diligence, he that shows mercy with cheerfulness. So, for the people with the gift of giving, I have just provided the platform for you to donate to my PayPal, and thank you very much. I appreciate it so much.
The more we study the word, the more insight we gain. It's going to be our prerogative to even get deeper into this mystery. And I'm going to be going into exactly what this what it means, the prophecy about Ham, that double distress, everything that's said about Ham, and where it comes from and where it's going, and what it means for Africa. It is the glory of God to hide things, because the mystery surrounding Africa is hidden in this secret, little known secret. A lot of people don't know about Abraham's third wife. There was Sarah, there was Hagar, there was Keturah. But Keturah unlocks the mystery of Africa. So let's look into Keturah a little bit more. And one other thing, the name Abraham has Ham in it. And we saw that in Genesis 13:1, Abraham went south of Egypt into the land of Ham. Genesis chapter 25. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua, and Jokshan begat Sheba, and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, and Letushim, and Leumim. And the sons of Midian, Ephah, Hanok, Abida, Elda. All these were the children of Keturah. Now, these are the meanings of the name, starting with Keturah. Keturah means incense or fragrant. Zimran means musical or celebrated. Jokshan, snarer, fowler. Midan, contention or strife. Midian, judgment or striving. Ishbak, he will leave or forsaking. Shua, wealth or depression. Sheba, oath or seven. Dedan, low country. Ashurim, steps or successful. Letushim, hammered or oppressed ones. Leumim, peoples or nation. Ephah, darkness or glooming. Ephah, dust or young deer. Hanok, dedicated or teaching. Abida, father of knowledge. Elder, God has called or God has known. So, putting it all together and extracting the prophetic meaning, we read, a fragrant offering leads to celebration, but ensnaring brings contention and judgment. After forsaking comes both wealth and depression. Through an oath in the lowland, successful steps come to the oppressed ones among the nations. From darkness comes dedication, from knowledge and divine calling or divine knowledge. Without Abraham, Ham stays as burning leads to darkness, double distress, affliction, and submission. But with Ham hemmed to Ham, it now becomes a whole different reality. But this all comes from us knowing about this fragrant offering, which is Keturah and Sheba and all of the other children. With the name Keturah and Zimran, we have incense and musical celebration. We have worship and celebration being used to represent a proper approach to God. All the four forefathers represent different aspects, with Japheth representing enlargement and technology, and Ham representing servitude and resources, and how this resource is used for services, like church services even, and how it serves all of the nations, and Shem representing spirituality and religion. So that spirituality is where we get religion, and that spirituality comes from a certain region. And in all the different genealogies, we should always remember that all three are brothers, but all three have very different paths to reaching the knowledge of God. The path of Japheth is the path of the Gentiles. The path of Ham is hemmed with Shem, but the path of Shem remains the same. So Ham had to learn from Shem, and Shem was also hemmed with Ham. So this is when we get to understand the Midianites. And when we read in book of Exodus, when Jethro, who is a priest of the Midianites, ends up sitting with the elders of Israel before God. So they were of a certain priestly nature.
We need to do more research into the names. We need to find out more about the Bible. It is the glory of God to hide things, the honor of kings to search out a matter. Searching and researching is how we find the honor. And I really want to appreciate everybody who is helping out the platform and the channel. And wishing everybody a very great year with prosperity and abundant blessings. This is, you could say, my own digital ministry, because this is what I would expect to be hearing in church to a certain extent, but I have not been able to actually find one church like that. And this is something that is very necessary. So this is the ministry, and that ministry also is your ministry. So yeah, I appreciate that, and I hope you do support your ministry if you're actually learning into it. I want to pour into you, so also be willing to pour into the ministry so that it can actually grow. I remember watching Steve Darby and things like that, and how it has had an impact, even though it's digital for the most part, but that knowledge and information and things like that is what made me also know that I can make an impact in my own little way. And I also hope that you can also make an impact in your own little way, even if it is also speaking, sharing, liking, whatever it is. You can also make an impact, and all gifts are given in different ways. So thank you so much. And some people's gifts is going to be actually explaining what I'm trying to say to other people. Some people's going to be to explain to me some other things that I don't know, because they're actual teachers who are still students. So I hope that I can inspire that in anybody. So thank you so much. And yeah, all of the people who do support, it's very encouraging. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you, and God bless.